Welcome everyone, it's time for us to have a bit of a look at Disfigure, another game in the shooter survival genre. I think we're calling it that at any rate, so basically like Vampire Survivors and Brotato, two of the games that I've been playing on this channel. And yeah, this is another one, and it is an interesting one. It obviously functions largely the same, but it does have a few differences that you'll see when we get into the game. Before we start though, I would also like to point out that this game, at the recording of this video, is free on Steam. There is a way to pay it though, if you want to, support the publisher, or not the publisher, the developer, obviously. Well, I suppose the publisher gets some as well, but yes, the developer. So go on and check it out if you want to, for that reason, if no other reason, if you like games like this. So why don't we start off a new game? And we can do it in a couple of ways. You start with the basic pistol. You can unlock other weapons. As you see, I have unlocked a sniper rifle, some twin katanas, as well as a burst rifle. We're gonna do, I think, 2 playthroughs in this video. Because the way that this game works, it has a 20-minute timer. After the 20-minute timer, there's a boss. You beat the boss, and the game basically says, good job, you're done. But you can keep on playing. But we'll basically do two regular playthroughs. So why don't we do one super basic, which is the pistol, and then we'll try something else, possibly even something I haven't used yet. We'll see. I do have enough points to unlock, well, basically whatever. So you pick the pistol, you get some information, bullet damage, fire rate, etc, etc, and you can also check the perks. So every 10th level you unlock a new perk, and in the regular 20 minutes I've never been able to get up to level 40. So basically you will unlock each of these rows. You unlock the 3 first after level 10 or at level 10, the second row level 20, and the third row level 30. So that this game, or rather, you know what, we'll get to the perks when we get to them, I suppose. Of course, you select your difficulty, either normal or hard. So for this first playthrough, we're going to go with the absolute basics, the way you start the game most of the times, I'd assume, unless you go for hard immediately. So with a pistol on normal difficulty. Why don't we indeed start off this new game and have a bit of a look? And we have started. So this is how this game works. You might notice that I have a cone of visibility. This is not a cone, it's a circle of visibility. That's kind of unusual for games like this, and I kind of like it. You can right-click and get a cone instead. There's our first enemy. This game, oh, there's another enemy. How this game works is that you can either opt to press left mouse button, do manual shots, or you can do what I tend to want to do, which is just press Q and you fire automatically. There are certain situations, like for example, with the sniper rifle, it is, or there are some points about actually going for manual shots, but well, and also yes, there are a few abilities that you could potentially be a little bit more effective if you did manual shooting. But we have leveled up, first level up, everything works exactly the same as all the other games. You have a giant experience bar over here that fills up as you pick up stuff. So we can now start picking some skills, and the way it works is that you have like a main skill that you unlock, and that main skill goes down 2 paths. You're not locking yourself out of a path, you can go down both paths. One thing that I cannot verify, but I think might be true, is that if you have unlocked a certain ability, there's a higher chance that you get the upgraded versions for it. So there are a fair number of different skills that you can get in the game, and exactly how common it is that you get upgrades instead of just the base skills, I don't know. Singularity is intriguing, but not a favorite. Electricity is one of the best ones, I think. Swiftness is just getting a bit faster, but it actually isn't just getting faster. If you go down this route, for example, you get the bullet damage is increased, which is very lovely. You can also get this one, picking up XP, increases bullet damage, bullet size, and bullet speed for your next shot by 5%, stacking up to 100%. That's actually pretty damn good. So yes, the first level might be, movement and XP pickup range, that's fine, but yeah, upgrades, very, very good. Plasma charge, also a favorite. sort of similar to Singularity in some way, but instead of like one big thing, you fire off a fair number of smaller ones. And then we have another basic one, which is to slow enemy projectiles and make yourself faster. And we can deflect stuff. We can get a little bit more bullet damage and even slower enemy projectiles. I rarely think that enemy projectiles is a problem. And you'll see why when we start up the game again. We get to that, but there are a few more stuff like more bullet damage here, and also this is a pretty nifty one. When enemy projectiles are destroyed, they split into 2 player projectiles that go in a random direction. Could become a lot of synergies with that one, I suppose. But again, it's not a favorite. We're gonna go for my favorite, the electricity one. So what happens is that any enemy that I shoot one time will be affected by electricity. And as they are affected by electricity, they take increased damage. So now we're actually getting alarmingly many enemies here. I'm not getting through them. We're gonna want some bonus damage. And would you know it, with bulk rounds. Bulk rounds is plus damage. I think we're gonna go for that one. We have radiation. That's a pretty nifty one if you get like a lot of view. A lot of view. A view range, you could call it. Let's see if we got... No, we didn't get any of those. We also have shield barrier. This one is... I'm not gonna say super important, but it's pretty damn good on hard. We're not going to necessarily need it this time around. We also get the guided missile, which is one that I haven't really explored that much. It's not a favorite of mine, but I have also not really checked the upgrades for it. Bulk rounds, however, very nice. You can just get a lot of bonus damage, which is pretty damn interesting, and bullet speed, which is kind of cool. You can also re-roll, by the way, one time. Also, one thing that I haven't noticed is that up in the left corner you can see some hearts. That means that we can basically hit 3 times. If we get hit 3 times, that's it. So we can also get quick draw, which is sort of the partner with the damaged one, so we can get increased fire rate, and also bullet speed, which is lovely. We can get bullet damage down on this one, and we get fire damage down on the other one. So they sort of cancel each other out a little bit, but, and this is where things gets fun, multi-shot. I like this one for the pistol, so we're going to go for that one. But we also want to go through here, and there's the first little projectiles, and I think you can tell why getting them to go slower isn't necessarily something I think is a problem, because they are pretty damn slow as it is. And this is one of my favorite upgrades for the shock ability. So as you can see down here, we're now up to this path here. Chain Lightning. Shock damage dealt to an enemy will damage all other enemies inflicted by shock. But also we want to go for Lightning Bolt. So Flashbang, that's what it sounds like. You basically throw a grenade. I don't think you see it. But from time to time, that is to say every 5th shot, a grenade is thrown. Again, you don't actually see the grenade, I don't think. That basically lights up in a circular area. We can also start increasing our bulk rounds, more bullet speed and fire rate. That's Singularity and shield barrier again. I'm gonna go for shield lightning. So now, presumably, we're gonna start seeing some nice things happening here. Piercing rounds, bullet size and bullet speed up. Lovely as well. Or we can get the slow. No, we don't want that one. Electromagnetism. I kind of like this one. XP from enemies killed by shock damage will float towards you. That's actually not terribly bad. So you're gonna start seeing some of the little XP things that we're picking up actually start floating towards me. So for example, over here. Alright then, there we go. I like Lightning Bolt. You're gonna see Lightning Bolt pretty damn soon. There we go. There's a Lightning Bolt. And Lightning Bolt, wouldn't you know, can become pretty damn crazy. We're gonna see if we can get that. Shrapnel, basically if you kill something, it will split and hurt surrounding enemies. That's pretty cool if you start going up the Doom rounds, because that can be very fun. Spotlight, that is if we're using the cone vision, which I rarely use. Sometimes it can be useful, and if you upgrade it a lot, it's actually pretty damn good. But for the most part, I'm using circle vision. We also have plasma charge again. Bleed is another one, which is actually pretty good on bosses, I think, because many of our skills relies on killing things, and bleed, we don't. That just inflicts the enemy. So I'm thinking, as we're actually getting new, I could re-roll, but no, I do want to go for plasma charge as well. It's a very fun one. There it goes. So that's a plasma charge. It just deals damage as it passes by enemy. But as you can see, with the lightning, it's very fun. Right, bullet speed, fire rate. Plasma coil, an upgrade for the one that we just took. Every 5th second spawns a plasma coil. Basically a thing that goes around our body. I don't necessarily want to go down that route. That's not the multi-shot. Okay, you know what, we'll do the plasma coil. It's not the worst. And I don't think that have I gone down the full path? There's the plasma coil. Where are all the enemies? Well, there are some over here. You can see them because of the projectiles. Here we go. By the way, what we're fighting, I think, is like bugs. These are supposed to be, I mean, that's clearly a bug. And now we're level 10, so now we get to pick our first perk. So we get sluggish round. Enemies hit by a bullet are slowed down for a second. Not terribly interesting. Or we can just get 50% extra damage or 35% extra fire rate. As I'm going to go for a multi-shot where we will be losing bullet damage, we're going to go for the extended barrel. So now all of a sudden I deal a truckload of damage. But yeah, these little tiny ones, I don't know if they are supposed to be like some sort of weird spider or something. It looks like they possibly have slightly too many legs for that, but I don't know. It's an interesting one, that it follows a little bit the same style like Kingdom 2 Crowns and Dome Keeper, where the enemies are all black, which is it's a fine way of doing it, I suppose. Oh, here we go. Now we're getting to the fun stuff. Explosive lightning. Enemies killed by lightning bolt will explode, dealing damage to nearby enemies. We get slightly less fire rate, but our lightning bolt deals more damage, which is going to be useful as we go down the line. But apart from the smaller ones, we've so far seen like beetles and scorpions, so we're absolutely in that part of the world with regards to our enemies. And unlike Vampire Survivors, well, I say unlike some of the maps in Vampire Survivors. Oh, there was an enemy there. You didn't really see it because it immediately killed it. Basically some sort of centipede-looking thing. But what I was about to say was that in some of the maps in Vampire Survivors, you have like edges and stuff. I don't think there is an edge to this game. We get even one more new skill, Burn. We can inflict burning damage on enemies, and we get Thunderstorm. Now this one is the best one. 2 additional lightning bolts. This is gonna be fun, let's just say. Things can get a bit crazy with this one. You'll see in some time. We are playing on normal difficulty, and normal difficulty is, well, slightly easier, yes. But when we're getting to, I don't exactly remember which. There was that centipede again. You didn't get to see it this time either. There we go. I'll level up again. What I was about to say is that I don't exactly know the timestamps for when like new enemies come and when more enemies come, etc., etc. Apart from, on normal, we get a boss at 10 minutes, I believe, and after that there are some new enemies, the ones that I hate. Alright then, Concealed Fatigue, how interesting is that one? Enemies outside of vision move slower, which is completely pointless, because you don't see them anyway. And enemies outside any vision moves 50% slower, but the one in vision moves faster. I suppose that brings us to this one. Alright then. Yeah, this is the weird one, because you get higher fire rate and bullet damage, but you see less. And then you can go even further with that, but the XP pickup range is 500%. That's an interesting one. I wonder which weapon is best for that one. I don't know. This one is pretty good though. Enemies revealed in vision take 20% more damage, and that's even more damage. So yes, this one is pretty fun. Because 50% more damage is just, well, that's 50% more damage. That's pretty good. We haven't really gotten anything interesting, though. I'm gonna reroll. So we get multi-shot. There we go. That's the simple answer. So now, as you can see, I fired 2 times. Well, I say 2 times. It's still 1 time, but 2 bullets every time. And I'm throwing a lot of lightning out there. Oh, you see how fun that is. So, alright then. What else do we get? Piercing rounds, shrapnel. You know what, let's go for piercing rounds. So now my bullets do need pierce enemies, and I think that with the upgrades, they start dealing more damage the more enemies they pierce, which can be quite important for like certain bosses that have multiple limbs and etc, etc. You can get more damage on the back limbs, which is fun. So, alright then, absorption coil. So that is the next upgrade for plasma coil. Killing enemies with plasma damage increases plasma coil range and duration by a second. Potential. Puncture rounds, that's the next level of the one that we did. And as you can see now, projectiles will pierce through 3 enemies, dealing 50% more damage for each enemy pierced. That's pretty good. We're gonna go for that one. As for whether or not it's better to unlock new abilities or make your current abilities stronger, I'm going to say generally it's better to upgrade the ones that you have, because obviously base abilities will never be very good, but as soon as you start upgrading them, they do become better. So there we go. We keep getting XP. I'm tempted to go for Gleam. Yes, we'll go for Gleam, because I do want my little circle vision here to become larger. I tend to want to use the circle vision the most. In the beginning of the game, you can use cone vision to just find enemies, but there's a lot of space you don't see when you are like this, and I don't like that. So for the most part, I'm using circle vision. But the reason why I was mentioning the no edge of the game is that, generally speaking, just select a direction, just go that direction. For the most part, that's pretty solid. We can max out the piercing here, but that's fine for now, I think. Ooh, we're getting to some max ones now. I am pretty tempted to go for this one, since we got the multi-shot. Getting even more damage is pretty damn good. So, there we go. Things are gonna start to get a bit crazy, I think now, basically. I was about to say something. Yes. As you can see, my character is like a turquoise. Oh, bloody hell, I killed a lot of stuff there with shock damage. Let's just keep going for this one. Bullet damage up. There we go. There's a nice shock damage points there, or XP from that. In the settings, I think actually, yes, here we go. If you press escape, you can actually set your colors. And the reason why I've chosen this color is because, apart from the lightning, there's not a whole lot that looks like this. The base color is actually white, and I think that white is a bit problematic because you sort of you get blended in with everything, and that's bad. I was going for purple or a pink at one time, but yes, these are pink. So again, you're sort of not showing up as much. So I've found that this is a good color, but you can choose whatever you want to. That's pretty nifty. Even more, or rather more bullet speed could be good, but no, I'm actually gonna, if I do that, have I maxed? Yes, I have actually maxed out electricity. That's kind of nifty. All right then, we'll see how well that goes for me. I think that the plasma coil thing is actually pretty good for bosses, because you tend to be close to them for a while you're killing them. But for this, or rather for now, we just keep on going. Still very few enemies. It's gonna be a bit different when we get to hard. Don't worry. But this would be basically your first playthrough of the game. It would look something like this. But obviously I've learned a little bit about which skills I enjoy more than others. So I do have that slight advantage. So let's keep going. And we get to level 20, new weapon perk. We can pick one of the first ones, but we now also have access to enemy hit by a bullet or permanently illuminated. Sure. Lucky Bullet, every third shot will have 3 times bullet speed and deal 2 times bullet damage. That's basically a 100% increase on every third shot. Or Adrenaline Rush, every 5 seconds, fire rate, bullet size, and bullet speed are increased by 50% for 3 seconds. So, I'd say that that's a pretty good one, because as it says, every 5 seconds it's increased for 3 seconds, so out of 5 seconds, 3 seconds you have that, so 60% of the time you would have more fire rate, more bullet size, and more bullet speeds. Actually, that only affects fire rate, now that I think about it. You know what? Well, actually, if I go for that one, I might as well go for that one. That's 35% all the time. This is 60% every 5 seconds. Feels like that's better, possibly. But also you get bullet size and bullet speed. We'll go for Adrenaline Rush, I suppose. Seems to be a lot of enemies with projectiles down here. I think if you ignore enemies with projectiles... Ooh, we have a new enemy. Let's see if we can get a view on it. There we go. Some sort of weird thing with, like, tentacles that shoots a lot of projectiles. But yeah, I think that you can sort of avoid killing enemies with projectiles, and you can at some point get a lot of projectiles on the map. I've had that happen like 1 or 2 times, which is kind of fun. So there we go. I actually killed one more of those without even seeing it. That's lovely. Circle vision is fine. Let's keep increasing that a little bit. It is going to be important to see a little bit more as we come along later, like after the first boss. So yes, let's level that up. And I just actually remembered something about shield barrier now, that even though it is more important on hard difficulty, there are some really nifty upgrades about it that I might actually want on this run as well. So potentially I'm gonna go for a shield barrier if we get it. That's a possibility. Where are all the enemies? Here are all the enemies. There we go. That's one of you. You give me more health, so that's pretty good. So yeah, you know what? Yes, shield barrier. So the one that you want is this one, I think. So killing every 50 enemies while shield barrier is active temporarily increases all weapon stats by 5%. That's pretty nifty. And next level, killing 100 enemies is actively temporarily increasing vision size by 50%. That's a lot. And then obviously we can also do this one. Every 150 enemies you kill, active temporarily causes every shot to fire an extra projectile behind you. Also pretty nice. We're gonna go for that one. And now we have a shield. So when I first was looking at the skill and it said that the shield negates 1 attack, I thought to myself, well, that's terrible. But then I quickly realized that yes, this is not Vampire Survivors. We can only take 3 hits here before the game is over. So being able to negate 1 hit is actually pretty damn powerful. So yes, even on normal it's actually quite nice to have. Especially after the first boss, when my enemies that I hate the most in the game arrive. It will be actually quite nice to have the extra health from at least one extra hit to take, so to speak. So let's see if I... Ooh, triple shot. There we go. But I also get the... Ooh. You know what? I'm gonna go for that one because I want the next one. After that, the one with the vision, because bloody hell, you can get the circle vision pretty damn big with it. So let's do that. And also, as you can see, these tentacled things, they drop slightly larger XP circles. So that's another reason to actually go for them. Try to focus a little bit when you see those projectiles coming in. But I think you understand why I enjoy the lightning bolt so much. It's quite amazing, actually, and obviously very good for many enemies on the screen. You can just rip through them super easily. There we go. And yes, I saw you die over there. We can get bullet cyclone for the shield, but that's only when you actually take damage. Then you do a cyclone of 100 projectiles. This one, I suppose, is pretty good. The baseline is that killing 200 enemies activates the shield. You get it for free the first time, so this is after you lose it the first time. You can get it down to 150 kills with that one and 100 kills with that one. So that's pretty nice, but it's not the one that I want. Burn Spotlight. None of these are actually interesting. Oh, no, never mind. I got Shield Flare, I didn't even see it. There we go, that's the one I want. So there we go. I'm probably not going to upgrade my Shield Barrier any more than that. I think that's enough. I might actually want to go for the Speed Up skill if we get it, because I am moving a little bit slow. But now you can see how big my circle vision became. And also, if I now lose the circle vision, or rather the bonus, you're also gonna see how incredibly small it becomes. But yeah, I can see a lot now. Now that I've picked up this, actually radiation becomes interesting, because radiation targets every single enemy that's visible. And you can tell now that I see a lot of enemies, so it could do a lot of damage. That is a very interesting combination, yes. So, not impossible that I pick up radiation as well, but now we get our first boss. Who do we get? We get this guy, some six-legged freak. So, yeah, we're just gonna start shooting you. So we're shooting the legs, and there we go. Well, it's dead. So, from the bosses you get hearts. And an important note to take with you with regards to hearts is that you start with 3 hearts. If you haven't lost a heart, and you pick up the heart container from the first boss, you actually get up to 4 hearts. However, if you've lost a heart before the boss, then you just get back to 3. So it is kind of important to not lose heart before the boss, or at least the first boss, I suppose. Alright, we get a bit of a tough choice here, actually. I do get radiation, so on every 6th shot, damage all enemies in revealed division by 50% bullet damage. Not bad, but we also get swiftness. But you know what? As I do have this one, let's do radiation, because it can become very important. I am now wondering if the enemy that I was talking about actually hasn't arrived yet. It might be that it comes a little bit later on normal difficulty. That's true. We'll see when it comes. It's gonna be apparent, I think, which enemy I am talking about. When that enemy comes as well, these tiny enemies, they actually, I don't know if they stop appearing altogether, but there's absolutely gonna be fewer of them. And for some reason I am not getting a lot of enemies here. There we go, there they are. So those are the enemies that I don't like. The good thing about them is that they drop more XP, which is lovely. So I don't know if we can... Bloody hell, it's a bit tricky to show you because all of the XP, well, not all of it, but a lot of the XP floats to me. See if we can get at least one of them to stay on the ground. But anyway, these are annoying, and there are some skills that allow you to slow them down when they're in the vision. I tend to like that skill, especially on hard, because, well, they're pretty damn fast. So, alright, then we can get quick radiation, 5 shots instead of 6 shots. But I'm actually going to take swiftness just to get a little bit of extra speed. I might not upgrade it anymore, though. I just wanted that initial little extra. So, again, we are playing on normal difficulty, and it is actually just a tiny bit easy, for me at least. And hard difficulty can get quite crazy. There we go, there's an XP from those guys. So you can see it's a little bit bigger than these tiny ones. So they're good for that reason, but also, as I said, you get fewer of the other kinds of enemies. So, yeah, I don't like them. But for the most part, I don't like them because they are actually quite fast, usually. But alright, we're just gonna keep on killing everything. It's going quite well. Don't remember exactly which score I tend to get to, but it's going rather well. I mean, even the pistol can actually be pretty damn powerful. Oh, I actually didn't get hit there. Lovely. Alright then, another level up. Let's not get new skills if I can avoid it. Heavy radiation, more radiation damage. We'll take it. Will be useful for the final boss, I think. Because with this extra... Oh crap, there we go. And there you go. So that's... that is now how tiny the vision cone, or the circle vision is. And now it's... Now you can see why these are a little bit annoying, because they crawl up fast on you. And you do want to move a little bit for the most part. So it is quite easy to just move into them. And now we get another enemy that you didn't see. When you kill them... Oh crap! When you kill them, they spawn these little projectiles. So let's hope that I can get to my... was it 100 enemies killed to get the extra vision? I think it was. Let's see you. If you haven't understood that yet, I think you have, but if you haven't, yes, you can of course damage enemies even though you don't see them. So that's something to keep in mind. There you go, there was that enemy, you saw it a little bit. Stopping power, fire it down, but a lot of bullet damage and bullet speed and bullet size. That's pretty useful, yes. Because these obviously also take a lot of damage, as apart from the previous enemies that we have fought. I would like some more fire rate though, not gonna lie. But we are getting some from the barrier bonus there. And those are actually quite annoying, the little centipede, because they're also pretty fast. Oh crap! Oh, I had just gotten the shield back there, and I immediately wasted it. Oops. Well, it's fine. It's fine. Don't run into things. We are now also getting more of the smaller enemies, which is good because, for example, radiation is based off of us actually killing enemies. So if we don't have a lot of enemies, we don't actually activate radiation that much. So we do want more enemies if we can have... Oh crap, oh crap, oh crap, oh crap. Yeah, I almost ran into that. Also, don't run into projectiles, that's bad form. I saw you there. Go, level up. We can get triple shot now, which is super interesting. Yes, triple shot. There we go. So now, even slower fire rate, that's true. Well, actually, no, not slower fire rate, but lower damage. But I have picked up extra damage, so we're still dealing quite a lot of damage. But now with 3 bullets, it's actually going pretty well. But I wouldn't mind that extra vision, though. We have the shield again, so that's good. Let's get down here. Make sure we pick up all the lovely XP. Go. There we go. So if I could just get that extra vision, I would be very happy. I would like a... There we go, thank you. I would like some sort of icon to just let you know that you've gotten certain bonuses, because I don't think that there are any, at least I can't see any on the screen right now. That would have been a nice addition, actually. But it's fine. You should probably know at least a little bit what you have or not. Kill you over there. Go. Kind of feels like my lightning bolt isn't as crazy as it can be. We're up to level 30 with 4 minutes left. Frost flashlight. Enemies revealing cone vision will be frozen. Don't do that. Bullet zone. Bullet damage is temporarily increased by 2% for each shot landed on an enemy. Resets when a shot is missed. Very good for the boss. Absolutely. But also suppressor. Enemy outside of the vision moved 30% slower and fire rate is up by 50%. We want that 50% extra. That extra 50% fire rate. As you can see, it's kind of crazy. That's a new enemy. Slightly larger variant. Not necessarily of those. It sort of looks like a... I don't know exactly what it looks like, to be honest. But it's weird. That's what I kind of like about this game. So, as I said, down to the last 4 minutes of the game. We'll see how many levels I can churn out. I have been able to get to like 34 or 35. I'm not 100% sure how far we're gonna get. Obviously, on normal difficulty, you don't get as many levels. So, I think at least you don't. Because, well, there's not as many enemies as there are on the hard. I assume that that translates to fewer levels. I could be wrong. I mean, it kind of depends, obviously, how many, or rather, how much XP you pick up, obviously. But, you know. Right then. Down to the last 3 minutes now. Should be able to get at least a few more levels. Maybe like 2, possibly? 3, maybe? Explosion radiation, or explosive radiation is kind of nice. Enemies killed by radiation will explode, but I don't know exactly how many of them die by that. We can get a movement speed while not shooting, but I'm shooting all the time, so that's not good. I could go for that one, but no, let's not do it. Absorption, coil and bullet flower. I mean, that's a pretty fun one. Every third shot, shoot a spiral of 3 smaller projectiles. Pretty good, in some ways. Yes, you know what? Let's go for bullet flower. So now we get, yeah, you can see that will surround the shot, or whatever you want to call it. Which is actually pretty good, because I am dealing a fair amount of damage. So just getting that extra damage everywhere is not a bad thing. So I should be able to go to at least level 32, I think. But if you're only going for the 20-minute mark, it is obviously the case that you need to think a little bit about your upgrades. You might even decide like beforehand a little bit. I mean, you obviously have to go with what you're given on your level ups, but making use of the reroll button, that is something to keep in mind. And I might actually do that on hard difficulty. I don't exactly know what we're going to be doing on hard difficulty, because I might actually unlock a new weapon, and if we do that, well, I don't know how that new weapon works, so I don't know exactly which skills are going to be best. Some skills are just always good, like lightning bolt, but with certain weapons, let's say like the twin katanas that I've been using, which by the way is very similar to the whip in the basic character in Vampire Survivors, by the way. With that one, stuff like shrapnel is pretty damn good, and bleed, etc, etc. So that's a thing to think about. Lightweight, we haven't... I was about to say we haven't seen it. No, this is from Gleam. You can get a thin wave that reveals everything, which is... You get the 10% extra circle vision, but with the bonus from the shield, I don't really need it, I don't think. Pick up more XP? No. So on this occasion I actually am going to reroll. Bleed, magnetism, destructive plasma is pretty good, but also quick radiation. You know what, I'm going to go for destructive plasma. We can get even more of them on the field. They might actually be a bit useful. I don't know exactly how useful they are going to be on the boss, but I suppose we'll find out. Right then, let's just make our way into soon the final minute before the boss and see how well I can perform on it. I had, I think it was yesterday when I played, I had a really weird run where I don't actually remember now, which is a bit of a shame. But I had a really interesting setup that basically made me kill a boss on hard. I don't know if it was the final boss. I think it was the final boss. I basically killed it in just a few seconds. I don't know what I had, and it's a bit of a shame, but as it is right now, I feel moderately confident about this build. I might actually get another level up. We'll see. Possibly. If my enemies are dying left and right, it's a bit tricky to understand exactly where I go to pick up XP. A lot of the XP floats to me, which is nice though, so I don't have to think too much about it. But there might be like bigger XP circles lying around that hasn't floated to me, like that one didn't float to me. That might just exist out in the world, which is a bit sad. I might actually get another level up, if not before the boss, but then during the boss. So the boss comes in, there it is, lovely. So it's basically I have no idea what that is, like a big centipede sort of thing. So this is where the skill with the, what am I saying? Piercing. The piercing skill is actually very useful here. Missiles, no. Bullet, cyclone, none of those are fun. Flashbang, slowed projectiles, no. Ballistic tip, bullet speed and fire rate, that's a good one. So there we go. Now we're just basically going to focus on the boss. Let's make sure that we don't get killed by anything else. We are shooting at the body. And we are dealing quite a lot of damage to the back of it, and, well, it's now just crumbling. And should be dead in any second. Come on, do the final. I'm doing less damage now that he only has one body part, though, so... Well, we'll get it done in just a few moments here, I suppose. Bloody hell, we have a lot of health on this final body part. There we go, he's dead. So, indeed, we can continue, get another heart here, but you know what? I feel pretty confident about the result of that. That was good. So let's get back to the main menu and play another round, but on the hard difficulty. So, what do we go for? Shotgun, the knife, the greatsword, boomerang scythe, lever action rifle, or minigun. I think that actually the boomerang scythe sounds fun. It's a big one. Bullet size is big. Mediocre on everything else, but presumably some of the perks can be fun. So why don't we unlock that one, have a bit of a go on hard difficulty. So here we go. We now have a sight. I'm gonna... Oh, this is weird. Why did I pick this for a hard playthrough? Oh, this is gonna suck. So what do I... Oh, wow, this is... Oh. Alright, what do I want here? Circle vision could be good immediately. Burn. Oh, none of these are necessarily good. I mean, bullet damage is just good to have, I suppose. And I suppose that these deal damage on the way back too, right? So that's presumably a thing that's good. But yeah, as I said before, using the cone vision is actually good in the beginning. So you get plasma charge, I like that. Quick draw for the fire rate, hollow point. Let's start leveling this thing up. Because we might get some interesting perks. We don't know about the perks just yet. We'll get to that when we get to it, but getting some extra damage up feels like a smart way to go. So now, I don't think I need to go. I can sort of switch between the visions here. Radiation might be good, but maximum caliber, there we go. We can just get a lot of damage on this thing to begin with. Then we can start thinking about the other things. I wouldn't mind lightning bolt because it's one of my favorite skills. So we'll see about that. Still not a whole lot of enemies floating about. There we go. Guided missile. Should I go for that one? Game seems to want to give me Gleam very much. You know what? I'll go for Gleam because that might be important further along. So now we're gonna get to quite a lot of enemies here, I think, in a moment. But I'm feeling fairly confident now that I have the damage upgrade. I mean, okay. I see some bonus, or rather some interesting things with this weapon right now. Alright, then you know what, let's just max that out. Because bloody hell, we can do a lot of damage with this now. Like, we're not one-shotting these, but we are two-shotting them, and that's way better than what we did before. Electricity, very interesting. Also, shield barrier, even more interesting. And I would love the upgrade that we had in the last run there as well. That is to say, the one with the bonus to everything. So bullet cyclone, not the one that I want. Singularity, bleed. I mean, bleed, doesn't that sound appropriate for a scythe? Let's go for bleed. Let's. I mean, we're gonna change some things up, obviously, in this run. Don't want to do it the exact same way. I'm feeling very confident about these small lads. Now they die fairly quickly here. I don't think I need piercing rounds because it already pierces, so let's ignore that. We have one level up for the bleed ability. We can get outflow, which deals more damage. Yes, as I said before, on increasing your existing abilities first is generally a good thing, instead of getting us new abilities. Alright, what do we get? We get bullet size plus 10, plus 100, bullet damage 50, fire rate, bullet size, because that's amazing. Oh, it goes so far away as well. And we just cut through that one so easily. Yeah, getting the bulk rounds was a really good choice, I think. Again, we don't need piercing, but where does that lead? That went to this one. This might actually be good now that I think about it. because we don't have that ability. You know what? While I don't need the piercing to begin with, getting that extra bonus for pierced enemies and we're dealing more damage, that is going to come in handy again for bosses. So yes, you know what? Not a bad idea. And obviously also when there are more enemies, so that's a thing. Plasma charge is nice. You know what? Let's unlock electricity, because again, electricity is just a nice way to get extra damage, for example, bosses, and this guy who actually takes a little bit more damage. So getting that extra bonus damage is always nice. Anything that gives you more damage is just always going to be a good idea. Shrapnel, plasma charge, swiftness, puncture rounds. Projectiles will pierce through enemies, yes. So now we can start dealing even further damage to the enemies in the back, which is probably a very good idea. There we go. Deal more damage. I would actually not mind even more damage, so when we get the next perk, depending on what we get on the second row, I might not necessarily feel bad about getting... oh, bloody hell, just cut through certain enemies. Yeah, if you're an enemy with a long body, you're gonna not feel good about going against me. More damage on outflow. We can get the slow down enemy that I didn't get last time. A burn. Or even more circle vision. We're gonna go for even more circle vision. So I wouldn't mind re-rolling to get... oh, bloody hell, wow. I wouldn't mind re-rolling to get the barrier upgrade to get both bonus weapon stats, but also the vision bonus. So shrapnel could be interesting. Light wave, no. Singularity, serration, more bleed. Yes, let's go for the bleed. Let's go all in on being a... what was I thinking? I was thinking like the Harbinger of Death or something like that. Yes, let's be the Harbinger of Death here with the extra bleed ability. That's pretty nifty. So, slowed projectiles, plasma charge. Why are we getting bullet cyclone all the time? I don't want bullet cyclone. I do want chain lightning though. Let's build that one up a little bit. It is one of my favorites after all, so I do want the lightning bolt as well. There we go. I mean, my bullets travel very far, and you can see there's just XP everywhere. It would be very nice to get that shield bonus so that I can see further. Fire rate, not bad. Lightning bolt, thank you. But there's the shield boost. I'm gonna go with the shield boost because I do want that extra weapon stats. Now get the tentacle one, which gives us a lot of XP. So we're gonna go for that one. But yeah, the extra vision could be very useful because I'm killing so many enemies off screen that I don't even know where they are. And I don't have that ability where it where they travel to me. So there we go. Thank you. Shield flare. There you go. Pretty nice actually. The game is sort of remembers what you've done up to the point where you get the skill, so you actually get the skill immediately, or rather the new ability. So I didn't have to kill another 100 enemies, which is lovely. So now I do indeed see further, but obviously it comes with the caveat that if I take damage, I won't be seeing as much anymore. Again, bloody hell. You just want me to get that thing. I'll take... no, you know what? We'll go with the quick draw. What other ability could I take that could be interesting here? That I didn't take last time. Maybe I'll go for the guided missile. As I said, I haven't really been working with the guided missile. And I assume that a thing about the guided missile is that it can deal a lot of damage when you start upgrading it. That feels reasonable, right? Like, I don't know, but... alright then, what do we get now then? Sights emit a vision circle. Interesting. Sights increase in damage by 40% every half second they're flying through the air. Interesting as well. Scythe duplication. Hit an enemy twice with the same scythe, You create 2 extra scythes with half the damage and size doesn't apply to bosses. Well, if it doesn't apply to bosses, that's completely pointless. So, well, okay, fine. For some of the later enemies, yes, that actually isn't pointless. But I think this one sounds fun. Or do I just go for straight up a lot more damage? I think I do. Well, this one is interesting, but I'm just gonna go for so much more damage. Because that's extremely useful. So let's just do that. And yeah, as I said, there's just XP everywhere. I almost kind of want to get the movement and XP collection upgrade. Because that could actually sync rather well with what I have right now. Because as I said also previously, there are upgrades within that skill that, you know, doesn't just affect movement and XP pickup, it actually affects damage and fire rate and stuff like that. So that might be a thing. I don't think I need the Kimbo one. Or actually, you know what? Well, it says killing 150 enemies while Shield Barrier is active. Causes every shot to fire an extra projectile. That's amazing. Oh, that's amazing! With a weapon that does single damage, so single damage, everything does single damage. But what I mean is, with the weapons that do a high amount of damage with fewer rounds, Akimbo is amazing. Like with the pistol, it's not that impressive. 1 extra pistol shot is fine, but it's not that much. This, however, I basically increase my damage by 50% by doing this, and I get a little bit of extra safety on my back. That's pretty good, actually. I'm not gonna go for that one on this occasion. I'm gonna go for that one. Outflow up, that's nice. Get more bleed damage, or it's actually not bleed damage. Ooh, here we go. First boss, I see you down there. Okay, don't get close to it. Let's see how fast I can kill you. And yeah, you're going down pretty... Okay, you're dead. Alright then. Alright then. That's lovely. So this is on hard difficulty. We are doing rather well, I'd say. So with a lot of extra damage, this weapon can be pretty sick. Though I wouldn't actually mind if I can get the upgrade. I don't know if I can right now because I haven't taken the first upgrade, but getting extra rounds like the multi-shots, that could be interesting as well. Alright, then there's the guided missile. Deep cuts though. You know what? No. We'll go for the guided missile. So that this works is basically, on occasion, that happens. You just get a missile that tries to find a target. If it doesn't, it just goes around and around until it finds a target. So yeah, if they don't find targets, well, they actually don't get used. But there you go, whabam. Now we're getting my favorite enemy to hate, which are these guys. I'm very happy to have the extra visibility now, not gonna lie. But I'm gonna now try as much as I can to upgrade the missiles, because I haven't really been playing around with them at all at any point in time during all my playthroughs, so that'll be fun. Spotlight, blinding light, shrapnel, ballistic tip, bullet speed and fire rate. I think that's a pretty sensible choice. I mean, added fire rate with this weapon is obviously also very good. So on this occasion you can very much see the different size in XP blobs, because I do not get them to come for me. So that's pretty lovely. This is a weird one, by the way. I don't have a lightning bolt. I'm probably not even gonna get it, you know. I'm gonna be happy with this, because this is fun. This is odd and weird. But I would like to get my my missiles to be a bit better. So we're gonna possibly even reroll to get it. And I have still not taken a single hit, which is good. Tend to do that, but with this weapon it kind of feels very difficult for the enemies to get to me. Multi-shot! Ooh, that is a curious one, but I'm gonna leave it be for now. Slow projectiles. I'm gonna do a reroll, see if we can get something for the missile. Multi-shot again, here we go, eruptive missiles. Any upgrades that increase bullet damage also apply missile damage. Oh, well, I have a lot of bullet damage. So that syncs up pretty damn nice with what I've got. So does that mean that my missiles now do, like, insane? It doesn't... Well, actually, okay, yeah, I think they do quite... I think that my... Is it true to say that my weapons do 30 damage? I think that's the case. It's kind of difficult to actually see, but I think it is 30 damage. But I think that my missiles do 90 damage. That's a big difference, and that's pretty damn good. So, alright then. And obviously I suppose the missiles cannot target anything outside of my vision. Which again means that... the bonus from the shield barrier is actually syncing up rather well. I still haven't taken radiation. I think I might ignore that one as well. We'll see. We'll see what I get. But I would like to keep leveling up bleed, I think, as well. Because again, bleed, very good for bosses. So we'll see if we can get that. Here we go. Missiles, a bit of vision circle, but also explosion size up. Cool. Killing spree. Killing enemies temporarily increases fire rate by 5%. Bullet damage down, but bullet speed up, possibly. So no projectile shrapnel. We'll go for radiant missiles. So, I don't necessarily feel that that is going to be super important to me, because I have, like, the bonus. But I suppose if I do take a hit and lose the extra sight for a while, the missiles will actually help me a little bit. So, maybe not the worst thing. At least for that occasion. For now, though... Everything is looking very handsome. You might also have noticed that the first boss on hard comes after, I think it was 8 minutes, because that's that is the truth. There are 3 bosses on hard before 20 minutes instead of just 2. Rather before, I say. It's one boss before 20 minutes on normal, but 2 on hard. So yes, we're gonna be getting another boss, I think, on minute 14, if I'm not incorrect. So we'll see how that one goes. Alright then. Oh, that almost came a little bit close. I would say that for the most part, when I get hit, it's because I think that I have killed the enemy that in fact is getting the hit. I think that that is generally how that happens. Explosive chain. Enemies killed by a missile will erupt into an explosion of half the size. That is an interesting one. Lightning bolt, I'm gonna ignore that one for now. And all of the others. So yes, there we go. Getting a lot of explosions now. Which might not be necessarily what the Grim Reaper would be doing. I haven't really heard about the Grim Reaper using guided missiles. I mean... There's always room for improvement, I suppose, in the process, but yeah. Let's... Oh, bloody hell, there's so many missiles. There you go, there's a target. I think that worked rather well, yes. Bit of damage. In fact, those enemies might actually be pretty difficult with this weapon, because you kind of want a lot of shots on them. And I am not doing a lot of shots, and 30 damage is not necessarily that much. I do have the piercing ability, so if I get like another enemy between us, yes, I can do a bit more damage, but, you know, very situational. So, yeah, that actually was kind of close, even. I, therefore, wouldn't really mind a little bit of extra speed if I can get that ability. Because I don't think I had that ability right, the swiftness one. 40% chance to inflict bleed. Killing spree again. Bloodlust. Enemies killed by outflow will spill blood on the floor, damaging enemies that walk over it. I mean, outflow deals 25 damage. That's pretty good, because that is up from, well, actually only 20. And then bullet cyclone again. I think we're gonna go for... I'm gonna go for a reroll, actually. Bloodlust again. Radiation. I might take that. Plasma charge and light wave. You know what? Let's go for radiation. I know I had it last time, but again, it is a very good skill to have with the extra view, or the extra vision that I have. So we'll do that. Let's be very, very careful when these bastards come. Yes, let's be very careful for when they come, because they are, I think, currently the most dangerous one. On hard difficulty, we are going to get another enemy as well, which you'll see a little bit later, which is, I mean, it's an interesting looking one, but it's a kind of boring one. But it does give a lot of XP, so you know what? I'll take it. Ooh, okay, there we go. Lovely. So much XP just lying around. Kinda makes me wish I had the XP floating to you ability. Then on the other hand, I don't know exactly how many enemies right now are getting killed by shock necessarily, but yes. Oh, and here's another boss. 13.2 seconds. That's weird. So this is actually... Isn't this like the last boss from the normal difficulty? I think, possibly. Okay, well, we are dealing... Oh, crap, I took a hit from these bastards. I hate them so much. I hate them so much, and... I thought I took a hit, but no, I actually leveled up. Phosphorus missiles. Missile explode into 9 phosphorus trails, damaging enemies by 50% missile damage and lighting them on fire. That sounds pretty fun. Oh crap, oh crap. There, I took it. I've taken 2 damages from the same bloody enemy. Well, there you go. Oh, wow. And the run is soon over, actually. I hate these bastards. I hate them with a fervor. Now I don't have my backwards one. I'm gonna have to just actually back up. Continuously backing up. I hate those bastards. Everything was going so well until I took 1 point, or rather 1 hit, and then everything just fell apart. Well, alright then. I think you get the point though. That is Disfigure, another game in the same genre as other games, but it does put its own twist to things. And yes, indeed, that was my first attempt with the scythe, so I think I did pretty good for being on hard difficulty as well. But it was a damn shame that I took that hit, because as I said, it was going to be bloody difficult if I did. And would you know it, it did become difficult. Possibly should have been able to avoid that final one, though I did sort of continue to back up towards it, but well, that's the difficulty of this game, I think. And I think that the mechanic of the vision is pretty damn cool, and it definitely sets it apart a bit from the other games in the genre. I could see slightly more color to this game. I mean, I understand the idea of everything being black, but to some degree, I think that it would have been nice if there had been just a hint of form to your enemies. I'm not talking about making them colorful. I'm not even talking about making them anything other than very, very dark gray, but just something to make them pop a little bit more, I think, could actually make a difference. And would it even be that difficult to get into the game, I think. That's like the tiniest bit that I have about this game. For the most part, other than that, I think it plays as you'd expect it to. And I think I showed with the missiles that even though you might have some skills in the game that you don't necessarily fancy that much, they might hide some really cool upgrades for you. So for the most part, all of the skills feel relevant. I think it's more down to how you want to play the game, and that's the strength of the game, I think. So yes, indeed, if these kinds of games are something that you like, this is free. So, why not pick it up? And if you like it, why don't you contribute a bit to the developer by paying for it? I don't think it's even more than like $2 or something. So it's not even it's not even expensive if you buy it. So yeah, interesting title, very fun. I have been playing it for quite a lot of hours before this, and I will be probably continuing to play it for quite a lot of hours still. For now though, this has been ghostmutgaming with me, Christopher. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.